While I was running PeaceWorks and building bridges between people at a local level, all of a sudden the Camp David negotiations break out and there's so much hope, and all of a sudden PeaceWorks is thriving. And then 7 years later, in the year 2000, the Second Intifada breaks out. Yeah. And when people were hoping there was going to be peace, it was imminent. People thought they could smell it in the horizon. All of a sudden, not only is there no peace, but there is war. There's lynchings of Jews in Ramallah. And from my Jewish narrative, I'm like, what the hell happened? I knew we had Palestinian partners. I work with them. Where are they? And after like a year of depression, because I left my fancy Wall Street opportunity to sell sun-dried tomato spreads made through cooperation by Arabs and Israelis. We talk about PeaceWorks, but the reality is I was peddling these products. I had a Stanford law education, and I had sun-dried tomato spreads that I was trying to let people try door by door in the streets of Manhattan. And I'm trying really hard to get PeaceWorks off the ground. And all of a sudden, the violence breaks out, and I am confounded. And at some point, I start connecting the dots of how the problem is. I go back to the region and I talk to my Palestinian friends, and I'm like, what happened to you guys? Where did all you go? Like, we wanted peace and you guys turned out was that they're like, what are you talking about, Daniel? We're all here. Where are you? I'm like, what are you talking? Where are you? We're all here. It's like, well, and I tell them what I see is all these images of violence and terror and lynchings. And they're like, let us show you what we see. And the Palestinians turn on the television and I'm in their living room and it's terrifying. Like, Al-Manar television from Hezbollah, Al Jazeera television, back then even Al Arabiya, all of the networks, they show me in every network the most horrible images of Israelis, the most horrible images. And the problem I start realizing is that on the Israeli media, they were only showing the worst part of the Palestinians, or the Arab media only the worst part of the Israelis. And you didn't see the overwhelming majority that it's not that they love the other side, they just want a better future for their children. Right. They just want to be left alone. And you didn't see the voices of those moderates. You only saw these tiny extremist bastions just represent all of one society. That's happening on social media every day, in every conflict, on every front. And we need to break through these bubbles and understand that it's upon us to not allow the destroyers to rule. OneVoice was an earlier predecessor of what we call the builders versus destroyers frameworks, but it was incomplete. But it was about empowering moderates to stand up against extremists. And we would go to Palestinians and say, these are 10 principles that we came up with. Do you agree with them? And they would read them and they'd say, yeah, I agree with all these 10 principles, but you're wasting your time because you're not going to get a single Israeli to agree. We take the exact language to the Israelis, we'd show it to them, like, do you agree with these principles? Say, of course I agree, but Daniel, you're wasting your time. There's not one single Palestinian that's going to agree. So we got 10,000 people, Israelis and Palestinians, to agree. And they're like, okay, but those were the 10,000 exception. Like, you're not going to really get good numbers. So it's like, okay, so we got 25,000. They got 50,000. We got 100,000. We got close to 1 million Israelis and Palestinians to sign on to our principles and join the movement and be part of OneVoice and mobilize and go through leadership programs. We were credited with the Annapolis peace process. With bringing back by the Bush administration, Abbas and Olmert all said that thanks to our work, they were able to bring back the Annapolis process. And we built 10% of the Israeli and Palestinian population's recognition that they needed to be active.